Dear students, Namaste, good morning to you all, and also welcome to another session of our mathematics class. In the previous session, we have started a new chapter, that is triangles, and we have discussed the term congruency, and also we have discussed the criteria which is used for proving the congruency of triangles. Hope you have revised well. In today's session, we shall solve some questions from exercise 7.1 by using the congruency criterions and the angle properties. Let's move on to the topic. Before starting the session, let's recall the four congruency criterions. The first one is SSS criteria for congruency. It says three sides of one triangle are respectively equal to the three sides of another triangle, then the two triangles are congruent. Here S stands for side. The second criterion is SAS criteria for congruency. It says two sides and the included angle of one triangle are respectively equal to two sides and included angle of another triangle, then the two triangles are congruent. Here S stands for side and A stands for angle, and the angle is included between the sides, means angle is in between the sides. That's why it is called the included angle. The third one is ASA criteria for congruency. Here A stands for angle, S stands for side. It says two angles and the included side of one triangle are respectively equal to two angles and the included side of another triangle, then we can say that the two triangles are congruent. Here the side is included between the angles, so it is called included side. And the last one is RHS criteria for congruency. Here R for right angle and H for hypotenuse and S stands for side, and it is exclusively for right angle triangles. It says hypotenuse and a side of one triangle are respectively equal to the hypotenuse and a side of another right triangle, then we can say that the two right triangles are congruent. And here H stands for hypotenuse. We know how to identify the hypotenuse. It is the longest side of a right angle triangle and it is opposite to 90 degree. Next, we shall discuss the first question from exercise 7.1. The question is, in quadrilateral ACBD, AC is equal to AD and AB bisects angle A. Show that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle ABD. What can you say about BC and BD? Here, there is a quadrilateral, that is ACBD is given to you. And AC is equal to AD is given. So here when you look at the diagram, it is clear AC and AD are marked with a single cut here. So it means that AC and AD are equal. And AB bisects angle A. Bisects in the sense equally dividing. The line segment AB is equally dividing this angle A. Here it is marked single arcs here. Both the portions are marked with the single arc. It means that these two portions or these two angles are equal. Then we have to show that triangle ABC and triangle ABD are congruent. So let's take these two triangles, that is in triangle ABC and triangle ABD. We have to identify the equal parts. We have already learned the congruency criterions and we have to compare the corresponding parts of the congruent triangle, corresponding parts of the triangles which are equal. So here in triangle ABC and ABD, let's take these two separately or highlight it here. Just ABC I have highlighted and another one is ABD also highlighted. And let's write the equal portions or equal parts. AC and AD are equal. That is given to us here. AC and AD are equal. So we have written the statement and we have to write the reason also. The reason is given condition here. Next one is one more thing, that is angle CAB. Here CAB is equal to angle DAB. So that also given to us. You have seen here the mark. So these two equal marks are there. That's why they are equal. Or else one more condition is given here. AB bisects angle A. The line segment AB bisects angle A. That's why these two angles are equal. So the reason is AB bisects angle A. Now you can see here one side and one angle we have taken, one side and one angle we have taken, and we have compared, they are equal. So AC is the side and angle CAB is the angle. Now when you look at the diagram here, this AB, the line segment AB is common for both the triangles. In triangle CAB also, for triangle DAB also, AB is there, AB is common. So we can say that AB equal to AB. In the first triangle also AB is there, and the second triangle also AB is there. So we can write it as common. Therefore, now you can compare here one side and the angle, and again another side. So two sides and the included angle we have taken. That means by using SAS congruence rule, we can say that the triangle ABC and triangle ABD are congruent by using SAS, because we have taken two sides and the included angle. Two sides in the sense AC and AB we have taken, and in the included angle, that is CAB, is taken. That's why we can say that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle ABD by using SAS congruence rule. Now, we have already proved that triangle ABC and triangle ABD are congruent. Next question is, what can you say about BC and BD? Here, BC is this one, BD is this one. So, BC and BD are now the parts of a congruent triangles. The first triangle is congruent to the second triangle, and BC belongs to the first triangle and BD belongs to the second triangle. So these two are the parts of congruent triangles. So the corresponding parts of congruent triangles are equal. That is, we call it as CPCT, corresponding part of congruent triangles. So by using CPCT, we can say that BC and BD are equal. So BC is equal to BD. That is our conclusion. These two sides of triangles are equal. Next, we shall discuss question number 2. The question is, ABCD is a quadrilateral in which AD equal to BC and angle DAB is equal to angle CBA. Prove that. First question, triangle ABD is congruent to triangle BAC. Second question, BD equal to AC. And third question, angle ABD is equal to angle BAC. Here there is a diagram given to you. ABCD is a quadrilateral. There is a quadrilateral ABCD is given to you. And the first question is, triangle ABD is congruent to triangle BAC. That is what we have to prove. So for that, the given conditions are there. AD equal to BC, that is marked here with the single cuttings. AD and BC are equal. And angle DAB, here it is DAB, it is marked with a single arc. And angle CBA, this is also marked with a single arc, means these two angles are equal. So first of all, let's take the given triangles which we supposed to prove as congruent triangles, that is in triangle ABD and BAC. Let's highlight it, these two. First one is triangle ABD and the second one is BAC, we have highlighted. Then as before, we have to identify the corresponding sides or angles which are equal. So here first condition, that is AD equal to BC, these are the two sides given equal, that is AD. AD is here marked with a red, that is AD in triangle ABD, and in triangle BAC there is BC, that is marked with the green color here. So AD and BC are equal, that is from the given condition. And next one is angle DAB and angle CBA are equal, that is also given here. So that is in red triangle, it is marked DAB. So here DAB, that is here in red triangle. And another one is angle CBA, that is the angle in green part or green triangle. So they are equal, that is also given. And here now one side and one angle is equal. So here we have to go for another one, AB and BA. So here when you check AB, this AB is common for both green and red parts. So AB is there in first triangle also, in second triangle also it is there AB. So AB and AB are common, but when you write in second triangle, we have to write as BA because the order must be same. So AB is equal to BA, that is common for both the triangles. Now two sides and the included angle. Here you can see there AD and AB, two sides and the included angle we have selected. So two sides and the included angle are respectively equal to the two sides and included angle of another triangle. Then by using SAS congruence rule, we can say that triangle ABD is congruent to triangle BAC. Then the second part we have to go BD equal to AC. We can check here BD and AC. They are the remaining sides of the two triangles which we have taken. That is the corresponding parts of congruent triangle. By using that condition, we can say that these side BD and AC are equal. So BD is equal to AC by using CPCT, because they are the corresponding parts of congruent triangles. We have already proved that given two triangles are congruent. So they are now these BD and AC are the corresponding parts of the congruent triangles. Because of that, we can say that BD equal to AC. And the third one, angle ABD equal to angle BAC. You can check here angle ABD, ABD, that is in red triangle. Another one is angle BAC, BAC, that is in green triangle. So they are also corresponding parts of congruent triangles. By using that, we can say that these two angles are equal. Next, we shall discuss question number 3. The question is AD and BC are equal perpendiculars to a line segment AB. Show that CD bisects AB. Here, there is a diagram given to us. Here, AD and BC are equal perpendiculars to a line segment AB. There is a line segment AB. AD and BC are perpendiculars which are equal in length. Means length of AD and length of BC are equal. That is given to us. We have to show that CD bisects AB. Here it is CD and here it is AB. So CD and AB are bisecting, in the sense bisection means equally dividing. Here bisects means equally dividing. Means O is the midpoint of this CD and O must be the midpoint of AB. That is what we have to prove. So here only there are two triangles are shown in the figure. So let's take the two triangles, that is in triangle BOC and AOD. BOC is one triangle, another one triangle is AOD. In these two triangles, first of all, let's highlight these two by using different color. Then in the smaller classes, we have learned a property, that is vertically opposite angle. Means English alphabet X, if we form by using two lines, or two lines are intersecting at a point, we get almost an English alphabet X. So here there are two pairs of angles. One pair is this one and another pair is this way. So four angles are there, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Here the opposite pairs, here and here, this one and this one. So these pairs are called vertically opposite angles. So vertically opposite angles are equal. That is, we have studied in the smaller classes. Here also, when you look at the diagram, easily visible a vertically opposite angle, a pair of vertically opposite angle, that is these two. Directly we can write these two angles are equal. That is angle BOC is equal to angle AOD. So these two angles are equal. Reason is vertically opposite angles. And one more angle is given to us 90 degree. Here one, here one. So that also we can take. That is angle CBO is equal to angle DAO. So these two angles are equal. That is given to us 90 degree. Then one more condition is given. AD and BC are equal perpendiculars. Here it is marked. See here, AD and BC are marked equal. So that also we can write BC equal to AD. BC is the first triangle part and AD is second triangle part. BC equal to AD, that is given. Then here two angle and one side. Two angle, one side we did not study as a criterion, but two angle and included side we have studied. But here included side is not included, side is outside. So it is not a problem. If two angles are equal, means automatically the third angle also will be equal, because by using angle sum property we can calculate the third angle and we can prove that the third angle also will be equal. So here, even though the side is outside, it is not a problem. By using AAS congruence rule, angle side, here side is not included, but of course we can take AAS congruence rule. we can say that triangle BOC is congruent to triangle AOD. So the first part we have proved, that means two triangles are congruent. Then by using CPCT, when two triangles are congruent, after proving the congruency, we can say that the remaining parts, that is called corresponding parts of congruent triangles, they are equal. By using that property, we can say that BO is equal to AO. So here BO is the side of the first triangle and AO is the side of the second triangle or red triangle. So BO and AO are equal by using CPCT. Again, we can conclude that CD bisects AB. So BO is equal to AO in the sense O is the midpoint. O is the midpoint of AB. In the sense, O is the midpoint in the sense how O is formed when CD crosses AB. That time only O is formed. So we can say that CD bisects AB. Hope it is clear. Next, we shall discuss question number 4. The question is, L and M are the two parallel lines intersected by another pair of parallel lines P and Q. It is shown in the figure. Show that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle CDA. Here, there is a diagram here. L and M are two parallel lines. This is L and this is M. L and M are two parallel lines intersected by another pair of parallel lines P and Q. P and Q also parallel, L and M also parallel. And we have to show that triangle ABC, this is one triangle, is congruent to triangle CDA. So, first of all, let's take the two triangles, a triangle ABC and a triangle CDA, and as before, let's highlight it by using different color. So here yellow color is used for ABC and another color blue color is used for ADC. Now, in the smaller classes again, we have studied the Z angles or alternate interior angles. Means when two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, we get an English alphabet, almost like an English alphabet Z we will get. So here these two angles are called interior angles and they are equal. So alternate interior angles are equal. That is the property we have studied. So any way this angle can be formed provided the two lines must be parallel. So this way also when you turn the first diagram you will get almost like this. So here also alternate interior angles are there, they are equal. That is a property. So here you can see here these two lines are parallel, that is L and M are parallel, P and Q are also parallel. So there is a chance of getting alternate interior angles. Let's check it. Here these two are alternate interior angle because there is an English alphabet Z. You can see here from B we are starting A going and coming back to C and going to D. So it just look like an English alphabet Z, and here P and Q are parallel lines. Means this angle and this angle are alternate interior angles. Then we can conclude angle BAC. BAC is equal to angle DCA. DCA. The reason is alternate interior angles and also P parallel to Q. Alternate interior angles will be formed only with a pair of parallel lines when it is cut by a transversal. If parallel lines are not there, then alternate interior angles will not be formed. Again, one more pair is there that we will find out later. Then AC is equal to AC. Here you can see AC is common for both the triangles. But when you look at the congruency statement, here A is first alphabet, C is second alphabet, but here C is first, A is second. So we will write in the second congruent side or second side. If you take, you have to write it as CA. Then only the order will be correct. So AC is equal to, of course, AC is common. AC is AC only. AC equal to AC. But when you write it in the second triangle, you can see here starting from C. That's why we are writing here AC is equal to CA. That is common for both. Then another pair of interior angle, alternate interior angle, as I mentioned before, here one, here one. So this also you can see here English alphabet Z is formed here. Of course it is twisted, but it is looks like just Z only. So these two are alternate interior angles. Let's write it, angle BCA. Here BCA, that is a first triangle part. BCA is equal to angle DAC. This is a second triangle angle. So they are equal. Same reason, alternate interior angles, and these two lines are parallel. L is parallel to M. Now you can see here two angles and the included side is here. So triangle ABC is congruent to triangle CDA by using ASA congruence rule. It is quite clear, two angles and the side is in between the angles. So by using ASA criterion, we can say that a triangle ABC is congruent to triangle CDA. Hope it is clear. Next, we shall discuss question number 5. Line L is the bisector of an angle A and B is any point on L. BP and BQ are perpendiculars from B to the arms of angle A. Show that triangle APB is congruent to triangle AQB. And BP is equal to BQ, or B is equidistant from the arms of angle A. So here there is a diagram given to you or a figure given to you. Line L is the bisector of angle A. Here you can see line L. This is line L. Line L is the bisector of angle A. Bisector, I have explained to you before. Bisector means equally dividing. So whenever this L, line L comes into this angle A, this angle A divided into two equal parts. So this portion and this portion will be same. Means angle QAB is same as angle QAP. Then BP and BQ are perpendiculars from B to the arms of angle A. Here you can see BP and BQ are perpendiculars. Perpendicular in the sense angle 90 degree. Here this is marked here angle 90 degree and this also angle 90 degree. And we have to, these are the two given conditions. Here you can see now itself two angles. Here this angle and this angle equal, and this angle corresponding angles are equal. Then triangle APB is congruent to triangle AQB. See here you can see APB and another triangle is AQB. We have to prove these two triangles are congruent. As I said, two conditions we can get directly from the question, and one you have to find out which one is a suitable one, that you have to find out. By using those three conditions, we have to prove triangle APB is congruent to triangle AQB. And then BP is equal to BQ. That is what the second part. BP is equal to BQ, or B is equidistant from the arms of angle A. Both same only. We have to prove BP is equal to BQ. That is quite easy, because once you prove the two triangles are congruent, easily we can prove the remaining part by using CPCT. So almost the explanation I have done. Since it is a geometry topic, you must do the work yourself, because your mental calculations and my way of thinking is different. So by using your own way of thinking, please try to find out the answer for this question. So you will try this at home as homework. Dear students, today we have discussed question number 1 to 5 from exercise 7.1. Since it is geometry questions, we need a lot of observation, and we have to use our logical thinking to identify the corresponding parts of triangles which are given to us to prove congruency. So I request all the students to go through each and every step very carefully and write it in a piece of paper separately before writing it on your notebook. So while solving, if you have any doubt, please note it and keep. We will discuss it during the online session. Thank you for watching.